Shoot 360 family, welcome to episode 14 of the Unlock Your Game podcast presented by Shoot 360 Louisville. Coach Blake, it's been a little bit. We enjoyed our holidays. How's everything been going with you?
Pretty good. Santa brought me a whole new studio in here, so great coming off the holiday spirit. How about you?
We love it. It looks great. Everything went well. Holidays were great. Basketball has kept going on and on and on. As we had our camps here, finishing up our 3-on-3 league, we've got our championship this weekend, so we're super excited for that. And my officiating just continues to carry that league. It has nothing to do with the players and has everything to do with my officiating. So I've been learning on the fly, and it's been a fun experience to say the least. I will never be a paid official ever in my entire life, and that's all I'm getting from this. So,
Yeah, man, I did umpiring one summer in baseball. Wow, that's
it's
that's
something, man. I
I could
mean, look,
only imagine that.
I have the parents have let me know of my shortcomings, and I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. So it's been a lot of fun, and we're continuing to grow and get better because that's what we do here at Shoot 360. But today's episode, we just want to catch up. We are in the middle of our high school basketball season, getting towards the end of our middle school season. Shout out Echo Trail. They're in the Final Four for their sixth grade team. Shout out North Oldham Middle School. They made the Elite Eight. I'm not too sure on some other middle schools around the area, but I'm sure we have a lot of really competitive Louisville schools competing in the middle school state tournament coming up here. I think that was just for sixth grade. So sixth grade, they did their first couple games, and they'll be doing their Final Four and championship in a couple weeks, I believe. So congratulations to those teams, Elite Eight, Final Four, and a tournament of 100 and some odd teams. Pretty impressive. So congratulations. Shout out to those schools. We've got some members who come in here that are plays for those teams, like Willie Ivory, Ace Hall, George Nettles, Pike McDonough. So a lot of kids who come in play on those competitive teams. Congratulations to those guys. That's been really cool to see. But Coach Blake, just kind of rolling in to our high school season. Man, we've been able to see what's going on around the city, and it's been a lot of fun to see what teams are doing and how they're performing. And we've got a lot of members that play on those teams as well. So that's been really cool to see.
For sure. We'll definitely highlight some of those members later in this episode. But now, coming into this January month of the season, I know I talked to some kids throughout the gym, and they're had a little bit of a break, a couple weeks, 3 weeks of their last game. They're like, I'm ready to play again. I feel like a whole new player. And when you're hitting this part of the season, what should you really be looking at, both player development wise, your role, just getting in that game? What should you really be looking at?
Well, I think you hit it right on the head. We've talked about often on this podcast what's your role? What are you looking at? What do you feel like your coach is going to need from you? What do you feel like your team is going to need from you? And if we are about 10 to 15 games in for our high school teams, you should know your role by now. Your teams are still developing a little bit, but there should be some sort of foundation to where we have our role. We're good. We're rocking. So really just knowing what your role is. Are you the scorer? Are you the rebounder hustle guy that catches and shoots in the corner occasionally? Are you the guy who you're the guy who goes and gets a bucket? You might not be taking all the shots, but when the game's on the line. I'm the guy that's creating offense for my team. So just kind of figuring out what your role. And again, we've often talked on here. If you don't know specifically what it is, this is a great time to ask because there's still time to make sure you know what your purpose is. As we get later in the season, you're going to run out of time. This is where you can really hone in and focus. You haven't really played your district games yet. You haven't played your games that are going to seed you out for the playoffs, so you still got some time. So I'd say continue to still be really intentional about your role, what it is, what you're doing, how you can get better in that role.
Yeah, I love that. Like, you don't want to just go into practices and say, "All right, I've had this 2 week layoff. I'm gonna really just completely change my jump shot, really for no reason in the middle of the season." That's not what that time is for. You could take these couple weeks of where you've started out at. You can go into that film study and see there's a couple points where I think I can add maybe 4 to 6 points to my game if I were to do this. And if you're a post player, that could be just maybe you're not being loud enough, calling for the ball louder, figuring out getting in certain spots where your teammates are able to get you the ball. So I think that that's definitely a great thing to look at.
100%. We've talked about what film can do for us on the floor, and just kind of breaking it down and making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. I know that coaches are all trying to figure out everything as well. So I think it would also be really reassuring to a coach that you have a specific focus in mind, and again, you're willing to do whatever's best for the team, and that's always super super important. I mean, that's the most valuable thing we can do as a player. And I mean, just knowing our role and continue to study and look at what we're doing. And then Coach Blake, I think obviously knowing your role, but where can you excel? What do you think people really should be locking into? I think you just asked me this, but where can people be excelling in the gym, in their personal development, in their training when they are coming into the gym here at Shoot 360? Or maybe if you go to other places, I don't know what it looks like or what you're doing after practice, but where can you really be excelling?
So if you're one of those guards that really work in that pick and roll where you've got a center coming up to the top of the key and setting that screen, you can work on when you're in that shooting court, you can have a cone up there or just one of those drills up there that talk about rip to the left, dribble, pull up, rip to the right, dribble, pull up. You can work on a lot of different drills that specifically target your area of game that you really use the most. And so, like that, your skills courts as well. Say that you feel like the past few games that you had, you just didn't feel like you had good control of the ball. You were kind of rushed. Every pass you made, maybe you had a couple left-handed passes or off-handed passes that didn't really feel as good as they should. So this break right here, you're able to get into that skill score, work on whatever you think is comfortable best to fit you and improve your game and go from there.
And I think you hit it right on the head right there. Understanding that when we're in the middle of the season, this is time to. We always want to get better. We want to grow and kind of get out of our comfort zone. I 100% appreciate that. I understand that that's a focus that we need, but at the same time, you need to understand what is in your comfort zone. Is there a specific move that's really working for you? It had and something people can't really scout, something people can't really get to. Is that specific move working for you? Okay, how can I get to that spot in different ways? How can I continue to get to that specific one thing or two or three, whatever that might look like, that is creating constant success for me? That's what you kind of need to be breaking down right now as we're in our season two, because you can continue to find variations of that one success if you continue to go to it. And if it's creating success, why go away? I think that's something that we could really be focused on as we are midway through our year. We're getting out of our Christmas holiday tournament kind of ways with how ebbs and flows of high school season goes and middle school season. A lot of people are coming out of tournaments, so you're kind of regaining your focus. So during that stretch of a lot of games, or maybe you had a big break, depending on what your school is, what was the go-to? What were you getting to a lot that was creating success for you? Maybe some things you were getting to that weren't really working. Okay, how can I clean those up? This isn't really a time for you individually to be one to pick up dribble over top of a big floater off the top of the backboard. That's your summer workout stuff. We're in the middle of the season. So these are things that we need to really be cleaning up. How am I playing under control? What shots am I getting to? Am I getting to the right spots? Am I running the correct sets? Okay, if there are specific sets I'm running, what can I be working on to make sure I'm replicating those things in my workouts so that I'm running those to the best of my ability? And I know that's hard to hear. It's because it kind of sounds a little bit complacent, but in the summer, you build, you build, you build, you build. Now we're in this realm of, okay, I've gotten to the level I want to get to. Now it's time to be here, because I don't want to drop off. And you stay here long enough, you continue to work on it, that trajectory is going to go up for you. So, and you just continue to find new opportunities and things that you can do throughout the game and that make you better. And that comes with our film study. So I think it's really important to really hone in on the skills you have now and then continue to develop them in your role and what you're doing on the court.
And it's a great opportunity not to like take a giant expansion, but say every time you drive to the basket, the defenders end up setting up at a certain exact same spot every single time. Like I'll take myself for example. Obviously, people were forcing me to go left. And so anytime I would go left, I would have to figure out a way. They're either going to get in front of me, they're going to body up, steal it, something. So I'd have to every time mid-season, it was about this time. It's like, okay, I got to figure something out. And so I would just try to work on keeping a simple spin to stay on balance to still be able to kick that ball out. And so even though it's not going to be something like you're putting four different things together, looking all flashy, just balance where key one or two different drills that can help you stay on balance and unlock a new move that's not going to be super uncomfortable. There's still the same basis of movements, just kind of expanding one or two moves off of that.
100%. And something that kind of goes underrated in basketball, but if you really want to, and this is something you can easily do that might not even involve a basketball in your hand, but say you're kind of playing out of control, you feel like people are bumping you off your spots. Start waking up in the morning before you go to bed, 2 minutes of core, 50 body squats, 50 lunges. Get your legs stronger, get your core stronger. Those aren't things that are going to wear you down, make it
Get a
hard
wall
for you.
sit in.
Yeah,
Everybody's got a wall.
absolutely.
Just get a wall
Yeah,
sit in.
100%. These kind of things that keep our core strong, keep our legs strong, can build some momentum for us. These things will clean up. You do that once a day for a month straight, you're going to see a drastic difference, and that doesn't even have a basketball in your hand. So those are some things that you can do, take home with you, make sure that you're doing outside of the gym, but also again, when you're coming to the gym, have some specific focuses, make sure they're translating for your games, and make sure that it replicates something that you're running in your games, whatever else might be, just to continue to build success for yourself and your team. And I think that's really, really important. And I think, we've talked about this a lot, but I want to emphasize it again. We're in this season of, okay, what am I doing well? What is my role? Let's play the comparison game now. Or not really the comparison game, but let's play the learning game. Okay, we've established our role. We know what we're really good at. There is some player out there somewhere at a collegiate level, professional level, even maybe another high school player that you see do your role and they do it better than you. And if there's a way for you to get film on them, how can I watch them and develop what they're continuing to do, right? You can learn a lot from the game by just watching it. And I think that's what makes basketball are really fun. There's other sports that you can't just watch the game and learn from it. You got to really be in it. But I think basketball is one of those games, as much as being in it is important, also watching it is super important as well. And I think that's very valuable.
Yeah, that's why I like it's not very the same, but how LeBron and Steve Nash had that film podcast of where they would do something, talk somebody through it, and explain why. I really like if you can see something drawn up by somebody and that person is telling you, like Kyle Korver, for example. We had Dean talk about how that fit his game more, and I've seen Kyle Korver talk about just how he would have to go into practice and his mindset of things that he would have to do in order to succeed. So you can look at that film too. And then also a great thing is hearing that person explain everything, their whole routine of why they're doing it and the things that it could set up for in the future as well.
No, 100%. I agree. It's really, really important for us to be studying the game while we're playing it and continuing to see what we can do better, especially again in this mid-season form where we're at on our team and what we're doing. And I think it's so valuable.
Shoot 360 family, we are having our end of season shooting challenge. February is going to be a critical month for our finishing of our seasons. Make sure that we're getting up our reps, keeping our consistency. So the winner is going to receive a backpack and a percentage off their following month of the membership. All it takes is for whoever makes the most shots from the free throw line extended will be the winner. We look forward to giving that prize out, and we look forward to seeing who's going to work the hardest in February as we finish up our basketball season for our school teams. Shoot 360 family, our 3-on-3 league was super successful for part 1. We are having a part 2 starting in late February. If you are willing, go ahead and join us. We have 16 spots available. We look forward to seeing you all there. Shoot 360 family, our in-season academy part 2 is coming up starting January 13th. We have spots available, so please join. It is 6th through 8th grade. The rest of our information will be up on the screen. Hope you'll have a great week. Thank you for listening.
Coach Blake, I mean, it's been an exceptional season. And as we've talked about this, I just want to highlight some of our high school players who have been exceeding in their role. And we've talked about some of these people before, but we also have some new names to our list. We had to let the season develop a little bit, let some people get some things off their chest, get going, playing a little bit better, get used to their role, how we talked about, and just kind of going over some of our male members in our high school ranks. Adrian Miles out at South Oldham High School, 10 points per game, 37% from three, playing a lot better. Colton Wuchturl coming off of an injury. He had a 25-point game the other night, 6 of 8 shooting from three, really big. We're excited to see what he can do coming off of his injury. He didn't get to play the first couple games for them. And then we're looking at North Oldham right across from them. We got Eli Green shooting 41% from three, Henry Howard shooting 36% from three, showing that the work is paying off coming in here. And then looking at our girls, they've been doing a really good job staying consistent. These are the girls that we had highlighted before, and their stats are the exact same, and if not a little bit better. Bryn Brickey at 15 points per game, shooting 33% from three. Paxton Lewis at 10 points per game. That's what she was at the first 4 games into the year. Now we're 10 to 15. So she's staying consistent. She's leading her school, Oldham County High School, in scoring. That's really exciting. And then Zoe Gathright, she's leading Louisville Collegiate in scoring at 11 points per game, and that's been consistent all the way through. And then we got Haley Dolker shooting 33% from three for Oldham County girls team. I mean, that's really impressive. It's fun to see where we're all at, and I'm sure we're missing a couple people on here, but we'll continue to shout out our members, and it's just been fun to see the development and how they're getting better, and I hope that we can continue to add names to this list moving forward.
Yeah, always see these people in there getting shots up on the skills court. So if you're somebody that hadn't been added to this list yet and you're showing out, let us know so we can get you on here.
100%. Shout us out, please. We'd love to get you all on that list and give you all a shout out, as well as potentially maybe bring on some members one day to the podcast and just kind of talk to them and see how they've enjoyed their experience here, and as well as how their season's going and what's going on in their world. So that I'm sure will happen here soon, Coach Blake, and it's a blast seeing our members succeed the way they are. So
love it.
As we continue to transition, I think, Coach Blake, it would be wrong to be in midseason form and not talk about a little bit of college basketball, a little bit of the NBA. I think it's really important, especially if we're asking these people to study these players, that we not talk about them. And I think, first off, just for this segment, I think we should kind of start with our college ranks, and we'll start with the men's side. But Coach Blake, give me a couple people that you feel like, and I'm sure there are some on my list as well that might be the same, but you feel like could be we're talking about our basketball, our player of the year for the men's side.
Well, for men's, I think we do have a couple similar one, and
I'm sure
I don't think you can pass up AJ DeBanza right now. Yeah. That guy is an animal. He's a one-of-one specimen right now. 23 points a game, 58% shooting. It's unbelievable. And no, I mean, he's still shooting 34% from the three, and he's not much of a shooter yet. He's still an athletic freak, will dunk on anybody. So I love to see him do that for, you can't really say a smaller school in BYU, but I mean, he's really repping over there. And there's also, I think this is a little bit different than yours. Caleb Wilson at North Carolina. He's been having a great season for them. Pull up his stats right now. He's averaging 19.3 points a game, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and 56% shooting. He's 6'10", 215. So, like, he's not much of a shooter yet either. He's still an athletic freak like DeBanza. And that's another guy. He's dunking everything, and he's somebody I can't wait to see go into the NBA.
No, 100%. I think we're kind of seeing a transition of I feel like we went through the stretch of a lot of guys coming out of high school were really dependent on the fact that they could shoot the three. And I think we're really starting to see guys come out of school and be much more complete scorers. Just for people to reference, a lot of people know this, but if you're anywhere from 30 to 33% three, I'd say you're an average 3-point shooter. At least that's on the men's side. If you're 33 to 37, I'd say you're a good 3-point shooter. Anything above 37%, I'd say you are a guy that we need to be going to the well consistently, 8 to 10 attempts per game from three. That's a double-digit average of points per game just off shooting threes alone. So I think for people to understand, these guys are doing this at the small forward, power forward position. I think Debance is 6'8". Caleb, as you said before, he's 6'10",
and they're not jacked.
Freshman.
Well, Debance is he's pretty jacked, but they're Wilson's not. He's a KD type build.
Yeah, and they're doing it as true freshmen too, and in college basketball, that's just not it's just not normal. You're playing against a lot of grown men that have been playing this game for a while, have all the tips and tricks that it takes to be successful, and they've done that. And on my list, I've got another clear and obvious, and hopefully tonight the Cards can take him away and get it done, but it's going to be a heavy task. But Cameron Boozer, I mean, he's been really, really special on a Duke team loaded with a lot more talent than both of North Carolina and BYU have. And to do this with other guys around you who are really, really good as well is really special. He is averaging 23 points a game, 56% from the field, 35% from three, 77% from the free throw line. So he's almost a 50, 40, 80 guy. That's pretty special. I mean, that's for a true freshman in college basketball. And again, these teams have played schedules that are just brutal. And I think that's something that the game has elevated to because of the KenPom rankings and how they do it for seeding now. You'd rather just lose to really good teams than beat teams in general. And so teams are scheduling crazy. We've seen Louisville's schedule. We've seen Kentucky's schedule. And these teams are following suit as well. I mean, you're just playing a Power 4 team almost every night. And for these teams, it's been ranked Power 4 teams. So they've been going through haymakers over and over again. And to do what they're doing throughout the year. And I mean, they get into conference play. Like, honestly, they've probably played a harder non-conference schedule than they've played in the conference. So the stats will probably get better, unbelievably. And I kind of got a sleeper for you, Coach Blake. I kind of was looking through what teams are kind of on the edge. Like, what are our 8, 9, 10 seeds that right now, but could possibly go in, surprise their conference. And this one, I know it's a former Indiana player, so don't get mad at me, Coach Blake. But I got Malik Reneau at Miami. He's averaging 20.9 points a game. That's good for top 10 in the country. And he's at 59% from the field, 36 from three, and 82 from the free throw line. And that's also with 7 rebounds a game. And you know what's funny? These are all guys that play the small forward, power forward position. So just a little perspective for some people. These aren't shooting guards. These aren't point guards. These are guys playing that traditional small forward, power forward position, shooting probably 4 or 5 threes a game, really attacking the rim, taking advantage of one-on-ones. I mean, it's pretty fun to see how basketball goes in waves of who's dominating right now, and it looks like just the guys who are big, strong, and tough are the ones that are making it happen. But I mean, this guy is on a Miami team who I believe is 13-3, 12-4, maybe something along those lines. New coach, probably could win Coach of the Year in the ACC if they do well. And this guy would just be a cherry on top. And then he's also an upperclassman too. So, maybe they'll try and flip the nod, not focus as much as those 3 guys that we mentioned. That'll probably be 1, 2, 3 in the draft order. Maybe they'll give this guy flipping the nod, maybe give him Player of the Year just because he's been doing it for a while. So that would be cool to see. But he's kind of my sleeper. I think that he has a chance to really be really be something, especially if you're putting up those numbers.
Yeah, I watched him the past couple of years at Indiana, and ever since he's gotten to Miami, like he's looked like a complete different player because he wasn't much of a shooter at Indiana. He was basically on the block, didn't really do much, and now they've unlocked the potential that because I think he was either a McDonald's All American, close to being a McDonald's All American coming into high school or out of high
I'm
school.
pretty sure he was a 5-star coming out of high
Yeah,
school. He
so
was a really good player.
so he just went up to Indiana, and Woodson wasn't ever really able to get the most out of him like he was with Trace Jackson Davis and Umar Ballo. So he kind of fell by the wayside, and he's went down to Miami, and he's killed it so far.
Yeah, and I think that's the benefactor of when you have a first-year head coach. Everything's kind of on the table. You don't really get to have your hands on everything as a first-year head coach. You kind of got to let guys play, and you kind of got to see it out just so that you get a feel for your team, what your culture is, how you're building it. And Miami's been fortunate enough to do it while winning. A lot of coaches don't get to do it while winning. So winning makes it a little bit easier. And then obviously that feeds into players' confidence. I mean, I don't know if you saw this, but there was the D3 national championship last night. I know the FNCS, or sorry, not FNCS, was no
FCS.
FCS. They played last night. Montana State won, but this team out of Wisconsin, this coach was in his 15th season. They start his first 9 years. They didn't win more than 3 games or something, and he won the national championship last night in Division III. I thought that was pretty cool. I know it's not really basketball centric, a little bit off topic, but I think it just kind of shows you the progression it takes. And when you're doing it while losing, it was probably really hard for him. But now they stuck with him. He's continued to push through and found himself on top. And I think that's just a testament to what Miami's doing right now. They're building their culture while winning. The same thing Louisville did last year. And I think you can just see the momentum and how that carries over. It's just really important. And so, Coach Blake, getting out of the men's game, did you have anybody else in mind?
Oh, for the women's side, I got the one
right.
for the women's side. All right.
The one.
The
right.
one.
I'm going to let you go first.
6'3" powerhouse, Iowa State, Audie Crooks, baby.
She can do
29 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, 1.7 assists, and 71% from the field. She's a monster. You're not stopping her.
No, she is doing it at a different level. And I mean, her size is unseen in the women's game. And I mean, that gives her a lot of advantages, but to go with that, her skill, her touch around the rim, her ability to score, her ability to have the game play through her. She's not forcing a lot of stuff. It's been a lot of fun to watch her play and see her highlights throughout the year. But Coach Blake, I got Hannah Hidalgo at Notre Dame. I mean, she's going to get a triple. I think she has a triple-double this year in points, assists, and steals. She averages 5 steals a game. That's got to be a record. I don't know that there's anybody else stealing the ball from somebody 5. I mean, I got to look now, but I mean, she's been a really special player, and she's done it in a very different way because she stayed at a school for 3 years. This is her 3rd year at Notre Dame, and she's been a lot of fun to watch play. And I think she also is doing this at a younger age as a junior. I think she started super, super early, played as a 17-year-old. So I think she might not even be 20 yet doing this. Oh, Coach Blake, and I'm wrong, by the way, 6 steals a game. She's scoring 25 points a game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 steals. And this is someone she's 5'6". This is not 6'1", moving, athletic, dominating the girls' game. She's 5'6". She's an average guard height for the girls, and it's oh my goodness, this is insane. She is hooping, but I mean, it seems I'm being so honest. Those are the 2 front runners. It's really not that close. The other girls that were on there, we're at some Group of 5 schools. Shout out the Group of 5 schools, but it's probably not going to happen for you. They won't see this anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if it does, that's fantastic. But those 2 girls are just kind of dominating the game right now, and especially getting into their conference play. I know the ACC Women's Conference is a little bit down, but shout out Louisville. The girls are in first, 3-0.
Let's go.
Good start. Looks like Jeff Walls is getting the girls back on track, and I'm sure Iowa State is in the head of their conference as well.
Yeah,
But Notre Dame, I mean, she'll be able to take advantage of kind of a down year for the ACC Women's Conference, and I'm sure she'll be. I mean, 6 steals a game. I'm still caught up on that. Coach Blake, that is crazy. For people who don't understand this, like, defensive player of the year in the NBA or WNBA would win if they were averaging 2.5 steals a game and maybe 2 blocks to go in there with that. Like, she's doing this 3 times that. That's pretty special. So that's a lot of fun to see, and it's been really fun to see the women's game grow. Not just how many people watch it, but skill wise too. I think that's been a lot of fun to see. So continue to rock out. You're getting a shout out from the Shoot 360 Unlock Your Game podcast presented by Shoot 360 Louisville. So hopefully they take that to heart.
They truly made it.
Yeah. So congratulations. But no, it's been a lot of fun to see where college basketball is going and what these young men have been able to do and what these young women have been able to do. And I think that's just a perfect example of, like, just watch what these people are doing. And yes, on the men's side, size has a lot to do with what those guys are doing. I mean, they're 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", dominating the game. But then look over at the women's side. You have 2 completely different players who are doing it in different ways, and they're impacting their teams and the game in a very special way. So it's fun to see. You can see how valuable it is to play different, be different. You don't always have to be the same that everyone else is, but just take it from people who are doing it the way you're doing it, and you'll continue to grow and get better. And then hopefully your game will expand. And that's just been fun to see. Well, Coach Blake, it's been a lot of fun just kind of sitting here and chatting as this continues to grow, our podcast, and we continue to develop more segments and whatever else. I pray that we can continue to just sit here and chat, because I think that's what makes it the best. So it's been a great time shooting episode 14 today, shouting at our members and continuing to learn that how we can develop our game and what we should be looking at as the season goes on. So it's been a lot of fun to see that.
Yeah, appreciate everybody joining us. If you're an athlete that's playing right now and need to hear your stats, we need to get those up there as soon as possible. So let us know. Appreciate everybody for joining us, and we can't wait till the next time.
Absolutely. Like, comment, subscribe, and join the Shoot 360 Louisville Unlock Your Game podcast crew and family. We're continuing to post out content. Check out our reels. They've been great. It's just quick snippets of the show, and we will see you all next time. Have a great week.